Hey everyone, it's Kong, and I've got something a little bit different for you for my channel, which is Summit der Langrisser 2 replays. So these are just going to be kind of quick little replays with commentary such as it is. I'm not going to stop and break down the strategy behind all these plays, mainly because I'm not very strong at PvP, so there's not going to be too much thought behind at least what you see me doing. This is my first match of the first round against Lazygenius. And I'm second picking Liana because I've already lost my Deedlet, so I wanted to make sure out of the healer selection that I had left that I would at least have access to a Gospel in case I needed it, since he still has Listel and Bozel in his box. Leon, sadly, is kind of my only appreciable physical DPS. And then I go with Elwyn for the same reason. So we kind of end up with very similar teams here on the in the first game. Jugler, Liana, Tiaras, and then 2 DPS. Now, as soon as I saw him stop his Claret there on the first round, my focus was on making sure that Jugler would be able to at least guard or block people. I didn't want her to be able to sneak around him with her huge range and pick off any of my little units at the back here. So I was kind of expecting him to act again, Claret, on the first round. So I was careful not to leave anybody out of guard range within the number of turns or actions that Claret could then get acted again and fly in. So I'm basically loading up Jugler with as much defense, Gospel defense as I can, since mine is brand new and 3-star and not very strong. So we take the Jugler 3C here, which basically paralyzes my whole team. The only thing I can really do without moving is this 3C attack with Leon. And then the fully loaded Claret makes her move. Surprisingly, actually, not killing my Jugler there. But she'll get him here. So I'm just kind of shuffling healers around here now to try to open up space where I can attack, since Elwyn is still frozen. Trying to get a little more use out of my Leon, since I know he can actually move and do something, but Lazygenius is having none of that. He comes in and eliminates the Leon threat right away. That does open up a spot where I can move Elwyn in to make his attack. So we're both now tankless. And since I have turn priority here now, I get to use Elwyn again to take out his Claret. I'm just trying to put a little crack in Luna here now, hoping that when Elwyn attacks, he'll have a better chance of doing enough damage. But Lazygenius sneakily hides behind my Tiaras here, so Elwyn can't get at her. So I have to settle for the next closest target, which is attacking into this Tiaras that has heavy damage reduction, so obviously not putting much or enough of a dent in her there. And since Luna's able to finish off my Elwyn, I have nothing left I can do, so that finishes that match. The first match was about as close as it gets. Kind of outclassed here. I was fortunate enough to be able to take out 2 of his units. Pick ban kind of playing out similarly here. I went with Deedlit just because she was available instead of Leanna second pick. The main reason I went with Leanna's second pick last time is because I wanted Gospel. This time I get Gospel, and hopefully Deedlit is able to serve as a little bit of damage as well. Lazygenius is able to get Knight of Mystery out for his second pick, and that's going to be problematic. So by this time I'm down to, again, Elwyn as kind of my main or only physical DPS source. Listel I'm not super worried about here, because I do have 2 Gospels. And I brought my Sky Archer with Leanna as well, so I do have a lot of kind of defensive arsenal against Listel. Listel doesn't end up being the problem in this match anyway, I don't think. Again, trying to shore up my kind of weak Jugler with Gospel. Now at this point I knew that Mystery Knight, and actually a couple of their units, had basically free reign to charge in and attack my team members, so I was hoping that Jugler could skybomb in and ice them. But I forgot about Mystery Knight's unicorns, so she then had free reign to do whatever she wanted without Jugler even being there to guard. So at this point with Elwyn gone, my only source of damage is going to be my hurt Deedlit, which is kind of a tall order against a strong Mystery Knight and a bulky Listel. So at this point it's already over, there's not much I can do against this team. But I wanted to at least get into the mix and get some attacks off with each of my characters. Now after that attempt from Deedlit, I knew that it was pretty hopeless. I don't have any character here who can put a dent in any of these characters. So Lazygenius and I are emoting at each other at this point right now. Unfortunately, you can't see it in the replay. But it's clear to him that I'm continuing to play, basically, as a joke about myself. So I take a poke at his flyer with my archer. no dice, and Lazygenius takes this round 1 matchup against me 2-0. So the next match I wanted to look at is Tristan66 versus Emptyjack. Tristan's my brother, so he gets preferential treatment. And they're both going with first bands of Jugler. Which we're going to see more often this season now that Jugler has his 3C. So Tristan leaving Emptyjack with a wealth of healer options until the very end. And Emptyjack decides not to go with his wheeler and gives Tristan Liana last pick as player 2. It's kind of interesting. Both players getting set up around their Landii. Piling on all the defenses right now. And just jockeying into position. Tristan slowly creeping up around his Landius. Very careful strategic opening. Now the act again against Bozel here, so he can move in an AoE and still be in Landius' defense range. And he's gonna put a black hole on Emptyjack's team. Getting some debuffs off there. Eret won't have enough in the tank to finish off one life of this Landius with her second attack. Thanks to Tiaras. Looks like Virash is going to come in for a try though. Okay, and he gets Landius' first life. Claret and Virash are both exposed outside of Landius' guard, so Emptyjack takes out Tristan's Claret. Bozel with another black hole. Clocks it again. So Diva has some trouble healing up the team here. But she does finish off Virash's first life, putting him into Zeal mode. Landy's bulking back up here. Tristan with his third black hole in a row. Kills Hiei. And clocks again. Tristan's hoping to get as much work as he can out of Virash before his zeal timer expires. So he does finish Landius, and then he's toast. So now the question is whether pretty much just Bozel can take care of Deedlit and Luna in Luna's aura. He's going with his, what is this, his fifth black hole in a row? And he clocks it again! Tristan has used black hole pretty much every single turn of this battle. Even if he finds himself unable to defeat Luna, he's got great map positioning here, and he's also severely outdamaging Emptyjack. Loading up Bozel again for an Earthquake this time, which he clocks. What's the percent rate on clock anyway? Okay, Emptyjack had enough of that. So let's look at Tristan and Emptyjack Game 2. Going with the Jugler first bands again. Let's see if Emptyjack gives Tristan Bozel again after that clock fest. No, Bozel's banned. Tristan gets Zerida out though this time. We didn't get to see her in action last time. And Yusuke. And Toguro Bros. So Emptyjack gets his Wheeler out this time. Tristan closes out with Tiaras with a healer to make sure he gets one. Both players hanging back a bit on the first round, but it looks like Tristan is ready to go in with the Toguro Bros. Going for his fully powered up range attack against Landius. Not enough to take the first life. So he'll head back to safety. And then Emptyjack setting up a nice Luna aura here. To give some of his more mobile options a bit more ability to reach Tristan's formation. So here comes Leon. With full big Balance Blade Disruption, allowing Landius to come in and take the Toguro Bros life. They have their revive. Zerda finishes off that poor sitting duck Leon. And then Hiei takes out Tristan's healer. So Yusuke's powered up. Takes out Landius' first life. Wheeler's 3C. And now Emptyjack is tankless. Tristan gets the Thorns proc here. But Landius' first life still goes down. And now Emptyjack is pretty much just gonna see how far Luna's gonna take him. Not far enough. That should be it. Gamely going all the way with Wheeler at 89 hit points. And that's the end of the second match between Tristan66 and Emptyjack. So Tristan wins that batch 2-0. And that's all the games I have for you tonight. So stay tuned for more of these. And if you're participating in the Summit Der Langrisser, then good luck. And if you're just watching, then have fun. Take care and happy Langrissing.